What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna make a little ring today. Just had another order come through on my Etsy. Starting to run low on pipe. I need to get some more, but this is what they come from, just scraps of copper pipe. Got the smaller, got the bigger. A few things organized here. I tend to like to make my rings a little bit wider. This one is more of a thinner, more of the normal size width that you would see, but I like to make mine a tad bit wider just to give it that more old school piratey Viking style type deal. So we're gonna get started on this. I think I got everything I need. Come along for the ride, listen, watch. I'm not gonna talk too much through this. If anyone's interested in any of these rings, I will, in the description below, I will put the link to my Etsy shop, and you guys can feel free to take a look at it, order you some. Christmas is almost here, so if you order right now, I can probably get it to you before Christmas or at Christmas. If not, it'll be just after. So let's jump in on this. This ring today has to be a size 8.5. So I have my ring manual here and I've got the numbers on. So that's gonna help be my guide. If anyone is attempting to ask any questions right now, I don't have the live in my view. You're above me, so I'll have to answer any questions you may have after the video. So like I said, I'm gonna make it a little bit wider to give it that more rustic size. That's gonna be pretty close. I'm running out of room. I got a little piece of pipe here. I have to use these channel locks. Making one ring typically takes me anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. So if you're watching and you're wondering how long this is gonna take, that's about the average time. Sometimes quicker, but since I'm doing a video, I'm not gonna try to rush it too much. Once I get it cut out and I start grinding on it, and putting the blemishes on it, it starts moving a lot quicker. This part right here is just tedious, and you want to make sure you get that straight cut, because this blade, there's only one blade, it's a one wheel blade, and it can get off track pretty easily. And the last thing you want is to have a bunch of little cuts in it. See the focus? See those little cuts? That's where I got off track on one. And that does not look good in a ring. So it's gonna keep going around and around, and it will break off by itself. Almost there. There we go. So this is a size 8.5. It could be a male that ordered this. He just has skinnier fingers like I do. Could also be a female. So I didn't want to go too wide if it's a female, because I know they usually like to have a little thinner. But if it's a male, it'll be a good width for him. So we're looking at a size 9 right now. So I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. Can always cut off more. You don't want to cut off too much. I like to form it around with these pliers, because not only does it squeeze it on, but it also is going to add some blemishes to the actual ring, which is what I want. So we're right there, close to 8.5. I still need to grind the inside out. So I think when I do that, I will be right on the money, maybe a little bit big. And the last thing I can do is just come across through here and clean that up, that cut. And that should put me right at 8.5. So the main reason for that was whenever you use a one-wheel cutter, whenever you go around and around and around, it's going to squeeze that copper inside so that it's going to have beveled edges. So you want to grind those edges out. And then along with that, I go ahead and grind the inside out. And we'll come back in here and polish all this up. We're going to rough it up some. But let's check our size to make sure we're still close to that 8.5. So I'm still right there on it. So like I said, I'm gonna get that cut right there a little tighter. We're a little wide right here and it's touching. So I'm gonna try to clean that up a little bit, get that a little tighter. And then that'll put me right on where I wanna be, so. Sure you always wear safety glasses. I prefer my clear ones, but I can't find those, so I'm going yellow. But the copper will fly around and hit you in the eye, so nobody wants copper in their eyeball. I'm not gonna be doing any cutting with the grinding wheel either, so let's take that off. So that's gonna squeeze together pretty much as close as we're gonna get it. Hit it with a little bit of sandpaper, clean up the edge in there. All right. Battery is getting low. It's all right, we'll be done here shortly. All right, so we got our edge straight. We're gonna squeeze this back around. Get that as tight as we can. See, can barely see the seam, but I like to have a seam because if your finger swells or if you need to get the ring off, all you got to do is pry it apart. Copper is very pliable. It's a soft metal, so there's no fear of getting it stuck on your finger. So a lot of people don't like to have a cut in their ring, but for one thing, you never see it because it's on the bottom. And like I said, it's not ever gonna get stuck on your finger. So once people hear that, they usually change their mind. All right, so we've got the size we want. We got 8.5. Now we're gonna start putting in some character into it. So I'm gonna put it on here tight. I'm gonna give it a few good hard squeezes, alternate, a few hard squeezes. We will have to reshape it here in a second because I'm kind of warping it a little bit. And then I like to take the file and hammer and put some file imprints on it. Gonna give it a little bit of character. Watch your fingers. You can turn the file to the side. You can do this however you want. You don't want to overdo it. We're looking on battery. Okay, then I'm gonna take a screwdriver. Let's see, I'm gonna give it a few good whacks. All right, like I said, I'm not gonna overdo it. Now I'm gonna reform it on here. See, we got off a little bit, so let's get that straight again. If you're wondering, we've got nylon on this side and brass on this side. Brass is soft and so is nylon, so it doesn't damage the ring, but it shapes it. All right, so we got it back straight. Now we can form it, close that seam. Come on, man. We're gonna check our size again. We are right on the dang money, I'm telling you. So you can't see it, but 8 is right here. 8.5 is just past that, so we're looking good. Get our sandpaper out. So we got the sides cleaned up. Clean up these edges a little bit. This is what we're looking like so far. See, everything's still pretty rough. A little bit of polishing going on. So you compare that to the rough. This is just getting a little bit closer. Clean up the inside a little bit. Switch to a finer grit. Now we're going to start to see that shine come in. Get a little closer. Now we're gonna clean this seam up. It's pretty, you can't really feel it too much, but I like to get it a little more flush and soft. Flip it around. No, I can't feel it at all. The inside. Alright, and hit the top of it, kind of polish some of those scrapes down. All right, now we're gonna move on to the polishing sandpaper. Trying to find all right. So we're real close. We're on the home stretch here now. We've got that seam real soft. Can't feel it. The light here is kind of messing up you seeing the character in the ring. But those little notches we made in there shine through a lot more later on. What's that? It'll go in that common area over there. There's a tree kind of in the middle, closer to the woods. It'll go kind of behind that, and they'll have a bench next to it. So appreciate it. It's almost done, so it won't be too much longer. Some of my neighbors talking to me about that little library I'm building. Okay, got her polished up. Last step, sometimes I will hit it with some shoe polish just to fill in the gaps, give it a little bit of darkness in those gaps that we made. But I'm not gonna do that today. I like it how it is. The last thing I'm gonna do is hit it with some of this polishing wheel. And then we will be about done, and I will show you the final product. I'm not gonna polish every inch of this ring. I'm only gonna polish areas. See the difference there? Dull, shine. So I do want to get the inside for sure. All right, I'm gonna take you inside and show you a comparison of the two. So come on. Well, you'll see it better in the different light. All right, we'll just go in the bathroom. How about that? So, there's a toothbrush. We've got the original piece of copper that it came from, and this is the one that we made. So, let me try my left hand, maybe my ring finger. It's about 8.5. Don't tell my wife. Okay, 8.5 must be my size. So that's the seam. Can't feel it. And this is the original piece. So up close, you can see the nicks and dings. I usually like to put a little bit more than that in mine, but this will work. Cool thing is in different types of lighting, it shines a little different, and you can see the character in it. The coolest part to me is that as this oxidizes and gets around water and you know, the air, it will start to darken to go back to like this sort of color. And you see how you see some shine right here? What you do, and what I always do, I always send a piece of polishing paper with every person that orders a ring, because what I like to do is I like to take the ring and put it on that polishing strip that I give, and I like to stick it in my finger, and if this is the polishing strip, I just like, once it turns this color or something close to that color, I like to just take it and do a quick rub, spin it, quick rub, spin it, quick rub. Oh! And then what that'll do is that'll add some super cool character to the ring, which means it'll have like the dark colorations of this one, but then when you hit it with that polishing paper, it's gonna have some of this shine in it, and that's gonna make it really stand out. So when you first get it, it looks really shiny, but as time goes on, you can hit it with that polishing paper just a little bit, and you can add the character that you want to it, the shine in different places. So that's going to be it. We're at 30 minutes. I think I was pretty close to, I think I said 20 to 30 minutes. So made pretty good time. All right, guys. Thanks.